Solicits for June, which I have not looked at all. So I will be discovering these things as we go, which I kind of like doing that, actually. It's more fun that way. So this is for June 2026, kicking off with a one-shot. It's the Summer of Supergirl Special, issue 1, which... It's nice they're doing this, actually, because they did this for Superman last year. And while I did expect them to push Supergirl a bit because there's a movie coming out, I actually really appreciate that they're just at least pretending they're giving her the exact same treatment as, hey, no, we're Summer of Supergirl, we're doing that. So, now admittedly, she's only got one ongoing book. I doubt she's going to get a second one, but hey, you know.
True. I did look through the solicits a bit more before you started, and when we get down to Lobo, there's also going to be a little bit, because since he's also showing up in the movie.
He's in the movie, yep, okay. Anyway, this is a one-shot. It's got stories by the current Supergirl writer Sophie Campbell, but also a story by Gail Simone and a story by Mark Waid. So, impressive list of names there for that, and this is sort of whetting your appetite for the movie, which is around this time. So, yeah, cool. No complaints, makes sense. And then they also put Supergirl 14 immediately after this. So this is the only time Supergirl's ongoing is going to be pushed to the top of the solicits. Yes. This is never happening, unless Supergirl 2 gets made, right? Because the movie's a huge hit. But
that, or if like Supergirl all of a sudden is like the new hotness, if she takes the place of Harley Quinn, and everyone's like, "Yep, we got to have our Supergirl."
I wouldn't be mad if that happened, to be honest.
Nah, not at all.
Would not be mad. It's not necessarily the start of a new arc. I'm presumably it's still just continuing what just started in this current... That said, though, she has a weird outfit in the cover of this issue.
Yeah. Yep. If the McFarlane toys were still doing their thing, I would expect to see this within like 2 months. No doubt.
This feels like I remember when I was a kid and they'd put out toys for like, you know, a movie, right? And I was at the age where I was getting toys for a bunch of different movies each year for, you know, a good portion of the 90s. And you'd get like, okay, here's like the main toy of the character for the movie. The character's got like maybe a second look in the movie, so they'd have that toy as well. But they'd have like a third and fourth toy, which were not in the movie. It was just, here's some alternate outfits that we've made for the toys. That's what this cover looks like. It looks like the weird white and blue version of Supergirl.
Whenever I think of that, of like the thing that's not in the movie, for some reason my mind always goes to Arctic Suit Batman.
Yes.
Like there has never been an Arctic Suit Batman in any major capacity, and yet that's always the one where it's like, check out the toy of Arctic Suit Batman.
Yep, I feel like there was tons of that for Batman earlier. Commando Batman, which is very un-Batman, but like it doesn't stop them. They'll do it in the toys, because why wouldn't they?
Of course.
Supergirl, and then we got Action Comics 1099. Yep. That's going on. We got more stuff with Wade's Superboy and the characters from the present day that was just interesting in the last issue. So
I think this is going to be after the reign of Superboys. Like I think this is slightly after that.
To be honest, though, I don't even think the storyline they're doing feels that tied to. I mean, it says Reign of Superboy's on the cover, but that last issue did not feel like it.
No, true.
Because the whole thing's been just set in the past anyway, so nothing. There's no reason why it should be affected all that much. But anyway.
I don't know. You got Booster Gold on the cover, so anything can happen.
True. I mean, maybe they'll do some present day stuff. Superman 39 is next. Some more Superboy Prime shenanigans with that. Then we got Superman...
Very fourth wall breaking on that one.
Oh yeah, he's breaking out of panels on the cover. We got Superman Unlimited issue 14. And I understand that cover better now, having read today's issue, so we'll get to that later, but interesting. Then we have Supergirl Survive issue 1. Okay,
yes.
What is this? Is this a one shot?
It's Summer of Supergirl, Pete. It's a miniseries for sure. I just don't know how long it is.
Okay, all right, because it's slightly oversized. It's a $5 40-page book, so it's got a few extra pages. So yeah, this is Ethan S. Parker writing, with Griffin Sheridan also writing, and art by Rod Reese. So Kara Zor-El lives this life of small problems. How are you supposed to hold a floppy little baby like her new cut? For some reason I thought it was going to say floppy disk there. I'm like, what are we doing? Floppy little baby. It's not a weird word for a baby. Like her cousin Cal. Who should she ask to So spring formal. Okay, I had to like process what I was reading there. Spring formal. We're talking about high school apparently. Jor-El, stop squabbling, but the planet Krypton has a big problem. Like the militaristic dictator Zod ruthlessly crushing dissent and threatening to unleash the planet's most dangerous weapons on the opposition. And when will things boil over and Krypton begins to burn? Karen, our infinite cousin, will find themselves trapped together in a prototype rocket, struggling to survive in a hostile universe that doesn't care if they'll ever die, which might prefer the latter. Blah, blah. Alright, so... Okay, it took me like a couple of lines there to realize, oh, this is set on Krypton before it gets destroyed, right? That helps a lot, because I was really confused up until I got that realization. Secondly, is this kind of an Elseworld? Because they're going to be sharing a rocket, I guess?
So there was a news article that came out that was... They're doing the next wave of Elseworlds books. The one that we already had was the Superman Father of Tomorrow. That was obviously the first one. This is the second one, Supergirl Survive. And then it's not in this Solicits, but it'll show up next month. They're doing Dark Knights of Steel 2 as well.
Okay, all right. We've been expecting that for ages. The Taylor, medieval fantasy version of DC. All right, cool. Well, I mean, it's nice that they're doing another Supergirl book, even if it is like an Elseworldsy type thing.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of, because it's the most obvious Elseworlds, which is, what if Kara was in the rocket with Clark? Like, what happens if she didn't leave separately? And I think it's an interesting thing here to explore that. I don't know how deep the book is going to go into it of getting to Earth. It seems a lot more of trying to escape Krypton more than anything else.
Which I kind of hope it does get to Earth, because to me the most obvious part of that Elseworld is, well, she was supposed to be looking after her baby cousin. She was supposed to be the guardian, and then that never happened because she arrived much later. So what happens if they actually arrive on Earth and she is there to look after him? Like, let's say they can't still find him, but they have this sort of more, teenage like person who's already like sort of taking commands and sort of insisting that she knows what's best, and like there's a lot of potential different upbringing stuff you could do with that if they go that far. Yeah.
I would think, and maybe this is just me being a little cynical, based off one of the last lines of this, which says, in a prototype rocket struggling to survive in a hostile universe, it might feel a bit more like Woman of Tomorrow sort of thing, where they're just like planet hopping and going through a bit of like, space rowdiness rather than back on Earth.
I could see that, which is a little bit of a shame, because I actually think there's more potential of like, what if Kara was there as a teenager whilst Clark was growing up as a young boy. I think actually sounds a bit more interesting to me. But I mean, this could still be a lot of fun though. I mean, I have no idea what the plot's going to be once they're in space and like what they're doing there. But yeah, it's got a fun cover. I like the cover. She's got like a ray gun, and she's got like Cal and like his red cape's kind of like a little makeshift. What do you call it? It's not a sling, but it's like
sling is what I would
baby
say.
sling. But yeah, so that's Supergirl Survive issue 1 hitting in June, early June. Next up, we got The Dead Man issue 1, which we did know about. This was something that was kind of revealed at the conventions last month, but this is W. Maxwell Prince writing with Martin Morazzo on the art, doing a Dead Man book as part of Next Level. So he's a quirky character, so he might be, good for their style, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I could see this being either something that is a bit more lighthearted and quirky, like you're saying, or we could even go like as deep and metaphysical as like the Resurrection Man series was, sort of thing. It could really go either way.
It could be both, to be honest. Like, it could be quirky, but then also go deep and say a lot about life and death and all the rest of it. So that is The Dead Man. So not just Dead Man, The Dead Man, right?
Yes.
Right.
It's not Batman, it's The Batman.
Right. So, like, I'm sure eventually someone will tell them to drop the, but we're not there yet. Okay.
They need to end every book that has the in front of it with that. It's like, no, you're not The Teen Titans. Just Teen Titans.
Then we have Lobo issue 4, which they're also kind of promoting here because it's got Supergirl tie-in stuff happening. Just kind of feels like Supergirl's making a cameo for one issue in Lobo, just to sort of mark the summer.
Especially having read Lobo today, it just feels like, she's showing up that one time.
Yeah, it's not going to be a prominent thing. And then they're still showing off some of their newer books that started just this week even. We got Deathstroke the Terminator issue 4, so that's rocking on. We also have Batwoman issue 4, with a very simple cover there, with her mask split in half. So curious to see how that gets to. And then we got Barbara Gordon Breakout issue 2, which I'm very much looking forward to, because it's a fun premise by and Tamaki's writing, who I quite like. Honestly, that's quite a pretty neat cover as well. You got
I was gonna say, do we know who that villain is?
I don't think it's a very grim Reaper looking kind of like Spectre almost, but she's chasing Barbara Gordon in her orange jumpsuit down the prison halls. It looks good. It's a cool cover.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
There's also a variant here by Mora, which is like, it's like half Batgirl in her outfit, but half like zombie. It's like sort of these layers. It's a pretty neat cover.
Yeah, so very unsettling.
Then we got the Fury of Firestorm issue 3, so we haven't started that one yet, but curious. That's more Jeff Lemire. Zatanna issue 3 is also solicited here by Jamal Campbell, which is that not monthly? Because I feel like no, I'm thinking of something, because there was another Zatanna book recently. That's what I'm thinking of. This one's not started yet.
This is just, they rebooted it again.
Yeah.
I think the last one was Jamal Campbell as well. I think this is like the same exact team, but they just are starting an ongoing instead of a mini.
Well, in that case, I don't feel bad for not or confusing the two of them then, because my brain was just clicking things together. All right. Holy crap. This cover for Absolute Batman issue 1. Two-Face has got an interesting look in the Absolute universe, if this is what this cover's showing me.
Yes. So there's also a variant as well that has the Penguin as well on there. And I think, and this is just me hedging my bets, I don't think this is actually the A cover. I think that they're doing a thing where they are being all secretive about what the A cover is actually going to be, because it's just too similar to the other one. But in terms of the actual looks for them, Two-Face has got a whole thing going on here with the white hair and all that.
It's basically like he's Two-Face, right? He's got the two-colored suit, and that's all fine. And I assume his face is going to be pretty similar to what we think of. But he's basically grown like anime villain hair that goes down in front of his face to hide his face. Which like the idea that he would try and hide his face because he's ashamed of it with long hair does make some sense. So I don't hate it.
He's giving me real Devil May Cry sort of vibes. That's where I'm getting out of this.
Yeah. So I'm curious.
And then Penguin as well on the variant. Like you see a lot more of him, and oof. Jesus, I get where it's coming from, but he has absolutely been put through the ringer a lot more than I thought he did.
Yeah. Absolute Catwoman issue 1's coming in June. We knew about this as well. This is another limited series set in the Absolute universe. Looking forward to checking out that when it hits. We get Absolute Green Arrow issue 2, which is the first of the 2 miniseries we're getting from the Absolute side of things. So that's there. Absolute Wonder Woman issue 21, that rolls on. So not much to add. Same with Absolute Superman issue 20, which is cool.
Although without spoiling what it is, the Solicit is definitely interesting of all the people we're going to be seeing by this point.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's also a redacted in there. Like, so there's someone they're actively hiding. But I don't know, no Solicit for Absolute Superman is going to top that one that teased Black Adam, and it said the absolute, the power of the Absolute universe is about to change, or the hierarchy, of power is about to change. That popped me so much. Absolute Green Lantern issue 15. So that, again, continuing on what we've been doing based on the last issue. And then Absolute Flash issue 16, missing cover, which could either mean they're hiding something or it's just not done yet.
in my experience of having to make thumbnails for all the cut up bits, Absolute Flash never has its cover ready by the time that Solicits come around.
Interesting. So yeah, those are the Absolute books, which takes us on to Batman issue 10, which is a very nice cover as well, actually, with Batman standing on top of like a very, very narrow spire at the top of a building. With the light hitting underneath his cape. Very, very nice. We got Poison Ivy issue 45, which...
Still continuing the Mayor stuff. Still good. Yeah.
Very, very impressive that's got into 45 issues. Wilson's run is really, going along. Like, it's...
Yeah. That's I wonder if Wilson has an off-ramp. Like, is there something where she only wants to go to 50, or is she just like, nah, 100 issues, Poison Ivy, let's do it?
I don't know. It just kind of depends, I guess. Then we got Nightwing 139, and I love the cover of this one. It looks like an old paperback horror novel. And again, having read today's issue and knowing what the current arc is now makes a lot of sense. So
I haven't really been keeping up that much with Nightwing as it's been coming out. I've been listening to you guys talk about it, but this arc, if this is the direction it's going in, I'm very intrigued by it.
Then we got Catwoman issue 88, which again also has a very nice cover. I don't know if that's meant to just be Bones or it's Black Mask.
Black Mask.
Maybe Black Mask. But he looks giant. He's like a kaiju on the cover, and he's like sort of like trying to eat Catwoman.
I have to stand in for Matt here and read off the last line. Plus, things get a bit hairy for old Slam Bradley.
Old Slam Bradley.
Yep. So I guess Matt's going to be reading Catwoman for the Slam Bradley backups or whatever's going on.
Then we got Harley Quinn issue 63. 63 issues, and I've not paid attention to a single one of them.
Every single time a new issue comes out, I'm like, oh yeah, this is still going.
Yep. We got Harley and Ivy Life and Crimes issue 6, which I'm going to assume is the last issue of that.
I think so, book. Yep.
We got Detective Comics 1110. Doing more of Taylor and Yana's run. We got Green Arrow and Black Canary involved in this story, so that's cool.
Yep. Is that sorry, I'm looking at the variants. No, okay, it's Robin. For some reason I thought that it was New Superman, Keenan Kong, like the color gradient just got me. There's, I guess we briefly mentioned, a bunch of these covers are also doing Pride Month stuff for the variants, because that is a major thing that's happening here.
Yeah, we got Batgirl issue 20, doing a murder mystery issue, which sounds cool. I'm into it. Segovia on art for that issue. He tends to be pretty solid, so I'm not mad at that. So, neat. We got Wonder Woman issue 34. This is, of course, just continuing the Wonder War, which has just started this week. So, we'll talk about that later.
Saying it's the conclusion of Act 1. So,
yes.
Wonder War goes on for a while, but we're at least hitting the end of first act.
Which, to be fair, that was exactly the first 19 issues of the book. It was like this 3-part long arc. It was like, so it makes sense that this next big section is the same kind of thing. It's a 3-part endeavor. Then we got Justice League Unlimited issue 20. Guy Gardner's haircut was sticking out to me more than anything on that cover, if I'm honest.
That team on the cover is the Superman team. Mr. Terrific's not there, but he's always behind the desk anyway. But that's the Justice Gang.
True. It's Guy, Metamorpho, and Hot Girl. You're right. I wonder if they're going to try and make that more of a consistent thing in the book, or it's just like a one issue kind of like, we'll do the movie team up for funds.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, JSA issue 20. Hopefully I'll be more excited by that by the time this comes out. I don't.
You're telling me the Spectre on the cover doesn't just fill you with shock and awe and wow?
Not particularly.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. New Titans issue 36. So yeah, it's excited to see where that goes after this first issue of the new run, but not much we want to say without spoiling things yet. But cool. And then we have Adventures of Superman, the Book of El, issue 9, so that's kind of ramping up to the final sort of section of that, which is cool. We have The Flash, issue 34, which, we don't know how we feel about Ryan North's run yet, because it's not started yet, but hoping I like it.
Yeah, defaulting to Gorillas. That's the Silver Age as it gets.
It's a very Silver Age cover, actually. Hey,
absolutely.
And if nothing else, they're getting rid of that stupid outfit that he's been wearing.
Yeah, I'm always okay with them trying out a new outfit for an issue, but if it doesn't work, you need to back down quicker than that.
No, but remember when we had Tim Drake in his UPS outfit for a year?
When he was the Drake.
That's right, I forgot about that part of it. The Drake. Oh, jeez. Emperor Aquaman issue 18, so that's trickling along, and notably guest stars Green Lantern for an issue.
I was going to say, Jeremy Adams is also writing Green Lantern, right?
Yep.
So just a crossover between the two.
Yep. Final few pages of Emperor Aquaman that came out this month did not look too hot, based on what I saw on Discord. So happy to be staying away from that book still.
Oh well, put it on a vote.
Then we got Green Lantern issue 36, which I am excited about Kyle Rayner taking over as the main character in that, but we'll see how that pans out once it actually starts. Green Lantern Corps issue 17. We're doing Manhunter stuff, so cool.
Sure.
And then we got Justice League Dream Girls, a DC Pride event issue 1.
Keep scrolling down.
Oh, and issue 2, and issue 3, and issue 4. So
it's a month-long thing.
Right. Okay. Right. So they're doing the Batman Santa Claus treatment.
Yep.
All right.
For Pride Month.
Makes sense. We got Greg Rucka, Josiah Axelrod, Nicole Maines, all writing on this. I think Batwoman's a backup story, but the other two are doing the main thing.
It looks like every issue's going to have a different backup story, probably for Pride. So there's Green Lantern Corps on one, Poison Ivy on another. I don't see who's it for the 4th issue, but yeah.
Okay. Maybe the 4th one either doesn't have one because it's just taking all the pages for the end of the story, or they've just not told us.
Could be.
Because there is an extra writer. Klaus Jansson's on that 4th issue. So if there is a backup, it'll be by him.
I was going to say, what has Klaus Janson done recently?
Didn't he do... I may be wrong. Maybe it's because his name sounds Nordic, but didn't he do Dark Knights of Steel All Winter?
God, I can't remember. Potentially.
No, actually, didn't Klaus Janson do the Santa Claus book? Maybe that's what he did.
That seems too convenient for me. But hold on. I've got his stuff up here. Let me see if I can figure that out. Anyway, this particular book has got Dream Girl and Galaxy, who it's insane to me how we've managed to do this cross-media stuff, because Galaxy began in the young adult novel section and got brought into the main universe. And then Dream Girl, whatever her name is, Dreamer, she got brought in from the Arrowverse as well. So crazy to me that we've managed to get both those things brought over.
Wasn't Dreamer a thing before that, though?
No, there was, in the Legion, there's Dream Girl or Dreamer, who her character is a descendant of this one.
Okay.
That's the backstory.
Yeah, but I knew there was a Dreamer before, though. I mean, I get that the one they've got now is a lot more based on the TV show version, but the TV show character was based on a comic book character, but they've kind of done like a sort of full circle kind of thing here.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The comic book character is in the future. This one's set now, and they said, "Oh, okay, it's because she's a ancestor to the one that we were familiar with."
But when they made the TV character, they weren't thinking, "Oh, we're like," they just thought, "Oh, we'll just have her in present day." That's all they thought, right? And then when they did put in the comic book, they sort of came up with some retcon of like, "Okay, this is how she exists. This is how it makes sense."
I got Klaus Janson's stuff up here. I'm not seeing anything he's done recently here. He is drowning out with Marvel work, so beats me what he was in.
Really? He's definitely done a DC thing. I'm sure he has.
I mean, I'm sure let me just see if I can limit by DC recently. He did some for the Batman Deadpool book. He was working on that. And then the most recent thing before that was when Stan Lee died, there was a Tales from Earth 6 celebration of Stan Lee. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing. He could be working on literally anything.
Maybe his name just seems familiar. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. I have to admit, like, I feel bad for not being interested in this, but like, nothing about the creators writing the main story, or really even these two characters that are leading the story, are doing anything for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just as simple to say it's a book that's not really meant for you. Like, it's got its audience. It has people who are definitively going to be super up for this sort of thing, and it's good that they're getting their book, but it's just not for probably me or you. Yeah,
nah, I guess that's that. But so there you go. And then we still have some more books here. We got Batman Superman World's Finest 52. 52! They got to the magic DC number. Look at that.
Hooray! And they're doing a guitarist story.
I am not interested in reading that one bit, I'll tell you that much.
Woo.
Bizarro Year None, issue 2 is coming out. Speaking of things I'm not interested in reading. That's there. And then we got Gotham Academy First Year issue 5, so that's trucking along as well.
Finally. That book was delayed for like 6 months.
Yeah, I was going to say I feel like issue 1 was a while ago, but I mean, you know, my memory shifts in and out for these things. DC Sonic the Hedgehog Metal Legion issue 2. Robotnik's got a Lex Luthor suit on.
I was going to say, out of all the covers, like usually they do a pretty good job of balancing between Sonic and like DC stuff, but this one, it's all DC and then Robotnik.
Well, I mean, name a second Sonic villain.
The Metal Sonic.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. However, the variant does have Sonic as Flash, Shadow as Batman, and Knuckles as Superman. I guess because
that one's pretty well.
Yeah, because Knuckles flies, you see, so I guess he's Superman. Shadow's color scheme fits.
Edgy.
And then, I mean, honestly, like, I get why Sonic's the Flash. I still feel like his head should still be blue, though. Like, give him a red suit, but like, turning him red just makes it hard to tell him apart from Knuckles. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it doesn't quite fit. The other variant, Amy Rose, has got the Wonder Woman outfit on. She looks fine. She's good there.
Yeah. Well, the cover for the last issue had all these characters with these things as well, but a couple other ones thrown in. There was like a Tails was Cyborg, I think, and then there was another
Tails
one.
was Cyborg, Silver was Green Lantern. And I think I remember you guys got into a conversation that there's a cat character as well. There's two. There's Blaze the Cat and Big the Cat.
Big the Cat, yeah. Big the Cat was the first one, I think, and then Blaze is like one of the... And then there's also Rouge the Bat.
Yes. It's too many characters.
I guess, I suppose she should be Batgirl by default if you're going to give her one.
That would actually, because I think she works side by side with Shadow, like in continuity, so that would definitely work.
There you go. There you go. Bleeding Hearts issue 5, so we're in the Vertigo section now. So that's there. The Pearl, the Brutal Dark, and Ezra Kane Mystery issue 5. So that's
the only one you'll be checking out.
Very possibly, unless I'm forgetting one from later on. It's a cool cover though, with them dangling from a rope above the city. Very, very pulpy. End of Life issue 5. Yep, I hated that first issue. So there's that. Superman Father of Tomorrow issue 2. That's that Elseworld that you brought up earlier, so that's there.
Yep.
And then we got Swamp Thing 1989 issue 3, which obviously is just about to start soon as well, so cool. And then we got some facsimile editions of various things as we do. You know, just scroll past those.
Some of them tying into the Supergirl summer thing.
Yeah, sometimes they tie into something, sometimes they're just kind of random, like, oh, here's a big book we're just deciding to do a facsimile of. And then we get to the collections. We have the hardcover and softcover of DC KO, which, you know, you could spend your money on better books, honestly. If
you're interested in KO, I think that you'd be better off waiting for whatever the omnibus is, because they've got all of the trades listed today, and there's too many to justify getting the entire event spread over all of this.
The problem is, though, is that most of the other stuff, because DC KO All Fight, which is here, like, that sucked. Like, it sucked. I would not recommend it at all.
Yep.
And then there's the DC KO Justice League Unlimited collection, which is basically just the next volume of Justice League Unlimited. It just happens to be all a tie-in to KO. So that's there.
Naming consistency is not their best, because it's Justice League Unlimited : DCKO. Fine. But then the next one is DCKO : Superman, which is just the next volume of Superman. Which,
feels weird. And then there's DCKO Battle Royale, which is just kind of like a hodgepodge of all the other little things. Like there's Night Fight 184's in there, the one-shot specials are in there.
I love the fact that Night Fight couldn't get its own trade. They're like, nah, we're not going to bother trying. We're going to sync it in with all the other stuff.
Well, I think if you don't, right, you end up with like a relatively short trade, and then all these one-shots are also a relatively short trade. And, well, I could see them trying to milk it. Maybe they realise none of them are good enough. And, like, the best hope they have is to put them all together so that completionists will just want them to round everything out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so only the main story, those got a hardcover. The rest are all just softcover, which... fine, I guess. But yeah, you're right. They'll eventually do some kind of whaled omnibus. But honestly, though, like, What would the reading order even be for the omnibus?
Pretty much release order, I would assume. Because like it's going to be that.
I get that the fight month would be between issues like 2 and 4, because that's where that all took place, like in terms of the continuity of the tournament. But all the stuff with like Superman and Justice League Unlimited, like that's just kind of running throughout, but it's also so separate that it would feel weird to like intersperse them into the KO issues.
Look, I've on my shelf right now, I've got the Flashpoint 10th anniversary omnibus, which takes all of like those various one-shots and stuff like that as well, and they had to fit them in somewhere. I haven't read it to figure out how it does it, but clearly DC has some idea as to what they're doing with it.
With that one, though, I bet they're in just chunks. It's like, oh, here's the Batman 1 to 3, here's the Green Lantern 1 to 3.
I know it's not that.
Is it not?
I've opened it up and have double-checked that. Like, there was a Booster Gold one, or it's like, all right, here's the first one, 700 pages later, here's the third one.
Okay, fair enough. I mean...
Yeah.
All right, not the greatest reading experience then, I would say.
Yeah.
Then we got Bruce Wayne, Not Super, The Bat Catastrophe. This is a new graphic novel, which looks very lighthearted in tone. Looks like a kid's kind of thing. So
yeah, looks like a teen sort of aimed book in terms of like Batman looks like a teen.
And then all in the same lines, we got Teen Titans Go on Strike. Another new, well, it's not a graphic novel, but it's another more kid-friendly collection. 7 to 12 of that series. Then we get Absolute Martian Manhunter, Volume 2 of the Agency, hardcover and trade paperback. This is issues 7 through 12. So that's cool. Then we got Batman Static Beyond, softcover collection. Then we have the Aquaman Volume 2, Justice League Blue collection. Then we got Batgirl Volume 3, War of Shadows collection, which is issues 12 through 16 of the current run. Then we got GSA Volume 3, Year 1 hardcover and softcover, which is issues 13 through 18, which I guess makes sense. Pete
will happily be picking that one up in hardcover.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they see it as prestigious because they've called it a Year 1, or maybe they've just been doing hardcovers of this series because it's Jeff Lemire or whatever. But yeah, very lukewarm in that across the board, I feel like.
Yeah.
We got Superman Unlimited Volume 2. This looks like a job. ... So this is issues 7 through 10 and the Chains of Love special.
Yes, gotta have that in there.
That's such a see when I was reading stuff primarily through collections like over a decade ago, right? Or even before that, this is like pre-Flashpoint we're talking here. I used to hate when you'd get like a dinky little collection where you have to get it because it's like volume 3 out of 6 volumes, but it's like only 3 regular issues and like a special that's just kind of like a filler issue. But because it's like double, triple size, it's like the page count makes it trade size. But you realize as you're reading it, I only get 3 new issues of the actual book here that I was enjoying. I would always hate that when I was collecting collections.
No, I mean, I'm wrapping up on New 52 right now, and the last Batman trade, there are 10 Batman trades for a 52 issue long series. There are 10 trades, and the last one is literally like 51, 52, the Rebirth issue, and then some random ass other crap that they thought would fit in here.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's yeah. Because I remember they did that weird thing where there was 1 or 2 issues before 0 Year, but it didn't fit into the 0 Year trade, so they held them until after 0 Year. So you got 2 issues from before 0 Year, and 1 issue from after 0 Year, and then an annual, and that was a trade, and it was you assholes.
That's volume number 6 is 18, 23, 24, 17. And some notes we found on Scott Snyder's desk.
So anyway, just annoying. Then after that, we have Batman Superman World's Finest, Volume 9, which is 44 to 49 of that series.
Volume 9, Jesus.
I know, that's both hardcover and softcover, which, yeah, I guess, 9 volumes. I mean,
it has that. It has Mark Russell written as a writer, which means it has that Robin and Supergirl book issue that you guys liked.
Oh yeah, that was a very good issue. Yeah, that was a very good issue. But it also has all of the Joker Lex hybrid stuff by the looks of it as well, which is literally where I said I'm done with this book. That was the final straw. After a lot of mediocrity that I was not enjoying, that was the straw that I went, no, never again.
Yeah.
And we got Detective Comics Volume 3, The Courage That Kills, hardcover and softcover. Obviously, that's the most recent arc that we just finished up. in the book, which was a very good arc actually. So good stuff. Catwoman Volume 3, Court of Fools, which is a Catwoman Court of Owls arc, which is intriguing, I must say.
Yeah.
From the current run. But then we got Injustice Gods Among Us Year 1 DC Compact Edition. So, yep, nice big hefty 400-page Tom Taylor Injustice book, which is, I think, the first thing he ever really wrote for DC, at least in long form anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. I remember I looked into this at some point. I think this was like the first thing he did, but he very quickly got onto a couple of New 52 books.
So there's that, and then we got Dark Knight's Metal Compact Edition. Then we got Green Lantern Hard Traveling Heroes.
Sorry, just to jump in with the metal one.
Yeah.
The contents of that, read this in any other format. Like, there's no reason to stick around with this. It's 1 through 6. For some reason, then Batman Lost #1 and Dark Knight's Rising: The Wild Hunt. Like, that book had so many tie-ins, and the fact they chose those two basically out of a hat seems so random to me.
Yeah, because wasn't there like the two? Because there's like two one-shots that led into it. It was like the Forge and the Casting.
Hawkman Found. Yeah, there was Forge and Casting.
No, forget
Hawkman Found.
No, forget Hawkman. No, I'm talking specifically those two that led into it. I actually feel like they're essential issues. Hawkman Found is not. Hawkman Found is as useless as these two are.
Oh yeah, no, but like Forge and Casting, absolutely. Those were like big lead-in things that like explained half the stuff of how this was all going to work.
Yeah.
And then I would argue that like at least a couple of the what is it called? The one-shots for the Dark Batman, like the ones that focused on them.
Yeah.
Like some of those are a little bit critical to understanding what the hell's going on here.
Yeah, but you can't just include one or two of those. You either have all of them or you have none of them, right? Yeah. But the Forge and the Casting feel like they're essential. They feel like they're issue 0 and 0.5 of Metal, right? That's what they are. So yeah, them putting in Lost and Whale Hunt, which are two of the more forget. I don't even remember what was in those, to be honest. So
I can't remember Batman Lost. I think that was more of just like a Barbados taunting him thing. But Wild Hunt's the one where like the random ass team makes Earth number 53 and it's like the monkey world. Like, I don't know what that's doing there at all.
Anyway, next up is DC's Finest, Green Lantern Hard Traveling Heroes. So it's just kind of in that format of that for that story. Then we got DC's Finest, Justice League of America, Crisis on Earth X, which, you know, cool. Then and that's a beefy 600-page one as well. We got The Flash by Joshua Williamson, Omnibus, Volume 3.
Still not done. I think it went till issue like 85 or whatever. The League of Comic Geeks does have the incorrect information listed. They copied a Suicide Squad solicit instead.
I was going to say, I was looking for what the Flash issues were in this, and it was like Flash issue 12, and I'm like, there's more than that.
Yeah.
Also,
this one goes up to like issue 64, I think.
Yeah, if they're Omnibus Volume 3 and they're only at Flash issue 12, like they are, like what have they been putting in these things?
I think he had like 3 issues prior to the Rebirth era, whatever.
So we're expecting a Volume 4? Like we have a 4?
Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe I was misreading that. It looks like, according to Comic Geeks, this does go up to issue 800. So
this is I would expect this to be the final omnibus of this run.
Yep.
God damn. Talk about, I mean, honestly, looking back on it, I don't even think the early parts were that great. Like, I think like there was a lot of excitement for Rebirth and excitement for it doing stuff with bringing Wally back and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
That, you know, it got a lot of like leeway early on, but by the time it got to the Still Force and it got to the Year 1 that was terrible and all that stuff, god damn, that run went down the toilet.
Yeah, Flash War, I think, was the last point that you guys were like, okay, we're okay with this. This is all right.
Yeah, Flash War was not bad, yeah, and then it kind of went from there. Dead Man by Kelly Jones, the complete collection. So that's a reprint of that entire story. So that's cool. Firestorm the Nuclear Man, Firestorm the Nuclear Man, United We Fall, new edition. So that's the 6-issue series. And then we got Green Lantern Kyle Rayner Volume 1, new 2026 printing. So this is just the start of the Kyle Rayner solo series from the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Also adds Emerald Twilight in there, just so you get the context.
Yeah. So nice that they're reprinting that. And then we got Deathstroke Volume 1, The Professional. So, yeah.
That's the Rebirth series.
Yep. So they're reprinting that. which really only issues 1 to 5 and Deathstroke one shot. So this is just.
I guess that may have been where the first arc like technically ended. Maybe.
Well, I get that, but I feel like if they were reprinting it, I would expect it maybe like double-sized trades or whatever. They're literally just doing the first volume again.
I don't know. I'm sure they have their reason for it.
Batman Arkham Clayface, new printing, so they're doing that.
This just seems like a best of Clayface sort of thing. Like it's Detective Comics 40 and stuff, whatever.
Yeah, one of the first trades or collections I ever bought was not this branding, obviously, because it was ages ago, but it was like basically like a best of Scarecrow, like one shots from like various Batman and Detective comic issues.
Okay.
So I just remember buying that back in the day. Absolute Batman Incorporated, new printing. So this isn't even the first time this has been an Absolute version, but it's coming back out. And then we got Aquaman by Jeff Johns, book 1. So this is the New 52 series, but in like sort of double-sized trades. Cool. Then we got Batman by Tom King Omnibus, volume 2, which has got 36 to 39 of Batman and a few obviously other things.
This is the one I was thinking of because it has the Flash 64 and 65 in it. That's what I was thinking of. The Flash there.
That'll be not the button, but the second time they crossed over for a couple issues.
That was the Heroes in Crisis like weirdness with Gotham Girl.
Yeah. So this wouldn't be the end. There's still some more of his initial run left, but I assume volume 3 will include Batman Catwoman whenever it happens. So
I wouldn't be surprised if it also extends out to like Killing Time and potentially Penguin as well, if they just do all of Tom King's Batman.
Potentially, yeah. Batwoman Omnibus, new printing. So this is the original Greg Rucka stuff, as well as the New 52 stuff.
Yes,
seemingly. So, which is that's a bit of a mixed bag.
I mean, here's the thing. It's not even all the New 52 stuff. New 52 got up to issue like 34 or whatever. This is literally right up to the point where they were teasing Kate and Maggie were going to get married, and then DC pulled the plug on it, and everybody quit the book.
Okay, interesting. I still feel like though you'd probably better off just getting like a Batwoman by Rucka Deluxe or whatever the collection is. So,
yeah. Well, I think that's just Batwoman Elegy. I think that's what that's always been sold as.
Well, no, because the original version of it was missing like 3 issues because there was an Elegy arc and he did like a few more issues, and those few more issues weren't included in the. But I think the later versions of it do. So if you buy it now, you're probably getting the full thing. But if you're getting like an old printing from like back in like 2010-ish, say, it's only got the Elegy story and not the extra issues. Anyway, Birds of Prey by Gil Simone, Omnibus Volume 2. So it's cool that they're omnibusizing. That's not a word, but sure that. So makes sense. I don't think that's the end of her run, though, either. I think there'll be a volume 3.
It says the thrilling conclusion to Simone's acclaimed run, so I assume that's the end of it.
Well, I guess they're not including then when... Oh, no, they are including that 1 to 50 when she came back. Okay, never mind. I didn't see that in the solicit text. Because she came back after Brightest Day and did like a new Birds of Prey series for 15 issues, and I didn't think that was there, which is why I didn't think this was the ending. But no, it is. So they're including everything. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, neat. And then we got Gotham City Year 1 Deluxe Edition. It's cool that that's getting that, because it didn't sell that well, but clearly it's got enough acclaim now that they're going for it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I do wonder how much of it is also just, hey, with Supergirl coming out, maybe Tom King, we just push him a little harder.
Maybe. But it does feel the sort of thing that even if it didn't sell that well in singles, that they can keep doing hardcovers and stuff, and it'll do well enough, because it's got a cool title.
It's an evergreen, absolutely.
Very standalone as well. We got Commandy, Last Boy on Earth by Jack Kirby Omnibus hardcover, new printing. We got Maelstone Compendium 5. That's a lot of compendiums. God damn. 1,300 pages this bad boy is.
Features a never-before-seen milestone story, so I hope you're willing to shell out $60 for it.
We got Power Girl, New Beginnings, and Old Friends Omnibus. This is... What is this exactly?
I think it's mostly the Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti run from before New 52.
Right, okay. Okay, and then some other little bits and pieces that tie into it. Then we got Superman the Triangle Era Omnibus Volume 3. So that's neat that they're continuing the Triangle Era stuff. And for those of you who don't know what that means, the Triangle Era was a time when basically Superman, Action Comics, and Superman Volume 2, which is, I know sounds awkward, but those were basically became one weekly book just under those 3 titles, so you had to like sort of bounce between them all. It kind of became like a more of a square actually, because they started Man of Steel as the 4th book, which this includes some Man of Steel issues, but they still called it the Triangle Era. The reason for that is because they all have this triangle on the cover. With it basically tells you this is like yeah, it's Superman 34, but it's triangle number 12 or whatever it is.
If you're keeping up with the whole line, you read the triangle number.
Yeah. So this is volume 3 of that, and it went for a while. It went all the way up basically through Death of Superman until after that, basically. So
yeah, I was gonna say they've got Superman Doomsday Hunter Prey, which was the sequel series to Death of Superman.
Yeah. So that's cool, and they basically did the same thing with Batman Detective and whatever was going on there. They didn't call it the Triangle Era, I don't think, but it was basically. But the Batman books were doing the same thing during that era. They
called it the "We know you're already reading all these books already."
Because Nightfall happened during all that and all that stuff. That said, Superman kept it going for a lot longer. Superman kept it going all the way up to about the year 2000, give or take. So,
damn.
But yeah, big stuff.
Well, look for Omnibus Volume 7 then. However deep we're going to get.
I'm assuming that they're about a year per volume worth of books.
Yeah. Looks like it's 10 issues per series, so it's even less than a year.
Yeah, so depending on how far they keep going, they could get to like volume 10 of an omnibus series, which sounds insane. We got Batman The Long Halloween, the last Halloween softcover. So that's all right. Then we got Swamp Thing Dark Genesis Omnibus, and interestingly, this is 2 like hardcovers.
Yeah, it's like a slipcase
and a slipcase
cover.
Which is surprising though, because it's only 1,136 pages. That's like they've done omnibuses that are that size or even a bit bigger. So that's interesting. They're choosing to put this in a slipcase with 2 books.
Yeah, I don't know. It says in this first set, which leads directly to that. So maybe they're doing the thing where they're going to have like, the expanding set slipcase that you can buy separately. So
you think this is just the first book then?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's. The image is confusing. Maybe this is only the first of the 2 entirely, but
yeah,
it could also just be an expanding slipcase thing, because they've done that before where they offer up like, if you only want these books, here's a slipcase, but if you want more, we'll sell you the larger slipcase later on. Yeah,
interestingly, it says here Swamp Thing 1-25 first, but it says that the final issue is completed here for the first time. With art being completed, so there's something in here for people who are Swamp Thing like historians who want to like finally get that. So that's cool. And then the Saga of the Swamp Thing 1-15, which takes you very close to the start of Alan Moore's run.
It says in this first set, which leads directly into Swamp Thing by Alan Moore, coming soon.
Right. Okay. Well, and I'm sure there's already an omnibus of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing though.
It's probably going to match like the binding and the trade dress of this one.
All right. And then we got the New Titans Omnibus, Volume 1. So that's interesting. So this is basically post New Teen Titans. They did New Titans, and this is not the same people necessarily, but like out of that era, because it's got the New Titans issues 50 to 76. So I think this leads probably pretty soon after, if not straight after that, all the big Marv Wolfman stuff came to an end. So that's cool. I like them doing omnibuses of like stuff that you wouldn't think of as the big runs. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no, this is when it comes to the old stuff, this is where I love seeing the like scatter shot where it just picks up the odd issue that was never collected in anything else, and it's just able to justify it. Yep.
Then we got Wonder Woman Volume 2 Year 1, new printing. This is the Rebirth stuff. So that's cool. Then we got Wonder Woman The Golden Age Omnibus Volume 3 new printing. So that's also neat. And that finally brings an end. That was a long collections section for the Solicits.
Damn.
Yeah, that was beefy. Beefy.
I mean, good on them. If they can keep on pumping out the collections, I know people who will buy them.